Dan Olds here, and we are having our first interview with Team Tennessee State. We're going to meet the folks, and we're going to find out a little bit about what makes them tick. Let's start with you, Sean. So, what's your deal?
All right. My name's Sean Fuller. I'm obviously a student at Tennessee State University. I'm a junior. I've done a couple of internships with Google. Taken, master of Java. Try to be at least. Know a little bit of Python, a little bit of C. Got a couple of other languages under my belt.
How are you on Linux?
Decent. I've had to use it for every one of my internships, so I have some experience with it, but I would by no means say I'm a master.
How about MPI?
No.
We're going to be learning that.
I'll be a master of it by the end of this then.
Going to be learning some compilers, going to be learning some real world HPC. It's going to be something. So yeah. Cool. Aram, how about you?
I'm a graduate student at Tennessee State University. I'm a PhD student actually.
Nice.
Almost at the end of the program.
Nice.
We're graduating by summer or next fall.
What's your field?
Computer information system engineering.
Okay.
And I have a little bit of experience with Linux. I have used Linux actually. Not very good fan of HPC. I have done that too. I used clusters for distributed computer theory class where we had Apache Spark to do big data processing and some when I say big data, it was at least terabyte of work, but our examples were more like 100 gigabytes or 30 gigabytes.
We're going to be
big fan of Python.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Python. And of course, Linux I have used several times for my projects. And I'm full-time PhD student trying to graduate, so I have really limited time to learn new things. However, I'm very interested to learn new things. And also I'm working on an application. I just launched an application, a mobile application. It is a mobile application for children with autism.
Oh, nice.
So it is just an app store. Right. It's been a couple weeks actually. It's an app store. So
very cool.
Yeah. So
yeah. Very good. Well, thank you so much. How about you, Isaac?
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Isaac Ediaye. I'm from Georgia originally. I'm a senior computer science major here at Tennessee State University. I graduate in December. And as far as what my other teammates said about Linux and all those things, I'm okay with it, but that's why I'm in this competition, is to learn as much as I can and improve my abilities. And,
okay. Excellent. Travis, you're up.
All right. Yes, my name is Travis Young. And ironically enough, I feel like I'm a mixture of all the students here. So I'm from Georgia, like Isaac.
Yeah.
I've had 2 previous internships with Google, like Sean, and I'm also a third year. But I'm also in the accelerated graduate program. So I'll be graduating with my bachelor's degree over the summer. I'll be starting a co-op with IBM around May, going into December. And then
what part of IBM?
They, ironically enough, they talked about augmented reality and AI in my interview. But it looks like I'll be doing enterprise. So I've actually been taking an enterprise course throughout the semester, not really knowing that's what I would be doing with IBM. So I'll be prepared for that, doing COBOL and ZOS. So I have a little familiarity with those two. But of course, my main languages will be Python and Java. I started on Java, and I've been using Python a lot for a lot of machine learning projects that I've been doing lately. I've 2 projects that I've been kind of simultaneously working on that have been stressing me out. So
you got a lot going on.
A lot, always.
Well, the thing that you guys are going to be asked to do in this competition is to take 2 benchmarks and 6 actual HPC applications, learn them, run them, and optimize them on a real supercomputing cluster. Small one, but a real supercomputing cluster. And probably using GPUs to give you some extra acceleration and stuff like that. Have any of you guys been down this road before? Any of you use GPUs or MPI or anything? I know, Sean, you said a little bit of MPI. But
No MPI.
Oh, no MPI.
No MPI. I've built computers and dealt with bottlenecking and all of that with GPUs, CPUs, and hardware, but nothing on the scale of this by any means.
Okay. How about the rest of you guys?
I'm not sure if it counts, but for the past week, I spent a couple of hours trying to install all the drivers necessary to run some code with my GPU. But that's about all the experience that I have with GPUs.
Okay. Yeah, you're fighting the CUDA. Yep.
Yeah, during my master's degree, actually, I took a class where we were doing the MPI a lot, but it's been years ago, so I have to
better dig up your notes, pal. Dig up those notes. And we have a lot of training materials up on the web. If you go to the Winter Classic Invitational website and look under the rules, you'll see a whole lot of different tutorials and things like that telling you about the applications, how to make them scale, that sort of thing. And you're going to be able to use professional tools from ARM, which will run on any processor GPU combination to help profile and characterize the apps and find those bottlenecks. So that'll be good. So what are you guys looking to get out of this? Let's start with you, Travis.
Well, I more so want experience and just a learning opportunity. I can't necessarily, stick to any company right now, directly after this competition. So if that were to be a great opportunity, I would appreciate it, but it's not necessarily something that I can do, being that I already signed to IBM for this co-op. But
maybe,
I definitely
maybe they'll trade you to somebody else for a grad student to be named later. You never know. A draft pick.
I would hope so, but just at the moment, I'm just looking for a learning opportunity. I want to be more, diverse and have different I want to expand my expertise.
Excellent answer. How about you, Isaac? What are you thinking you're going to get out of this?
Well, what I came into this thinking was that I just want to learn as much as possible. Of course, they've talked to us about how this can lead to opportunities like entry-level position or internship or something like that. And that would be great. It is a goal of mine, especially since I'm graduating soon. But when I agreed to be a part of the competition, my main focus is gaining as much expertise and learning as much as possible.
Fantastic. And one of the things this competition will give you, along with some exposure to some big hitters in the industry, is the ability to answer some of those interview questions like, what's a difficult technical challenge that you've overcome? Because you're going to overcome plenty of them in this competition. Or what was the most interesting thing that you've learned recently? Well, you're going to learn a lot of interesting things about HPC and how it works in the competition as well. So it's going to give you a lot of interview fodder, which will help. How about you, Aram? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm really interested in the field of the HPC, and I have done several projects in this area. It's been years that I have did these projects. With my PhD, my road has changed a little bit, but I want to learn more about this again, just to refresh my knowledge about Linux and HPC. And most of the job applications that I applied before, it was in this field, like HPC, big data processing, with the budget part for this fields, or machine learning. So for me, it's more like to get more experience and to learn more about it.
Fantastic. Sean, what do you have to add?
So similar to everyone else, I'm just looking to add areas of expertise to my resume. I hadn't even heard of HPC up until we started preparing for this competition. Kind of had my eyes set on Google since my freshman year and my first internship, but I would always like a plan B and start working that route and make sure I have something set up for when I graduate.
The really cool thing about HPC is that you can't think of anything that didn't either start in HPC or wasn't brought about by HPC. That's a really broad statement, but you think of things like using scale out for multiple systems. That expertise started in HPC decades ago. Using things like compute accelerators, that also started in HPC. because the big thing about HPC, the overriding goal of it is to solve huge problems. And the what comes out of that is the burning fire of using of getting the most out of the equipment, hardware, and software that you have, getting the best performance possible and running the biggest problems possible. And that's one of the really cool things about it. If you're in HPC, you will work with some of the biggest world-changing problems out there and on some of the biggest systems in the world. And that's a really cool thing. So you're going to be getting all hooked up with your vendor soon. That'll happen. And has anybody gone out and started looking at the codes or kind of nosing around at what you're going to be doing? Little bit, maybe? No? Some?
I heard of some of the tutorials, but I'm still trying to dig my way through all of that information.
It's a lot to digest. So I guess last question, how do you feel going into this? Confident, concerned, frightened? Let's start with you, Travis.
I have a level of confidence just because I know that I'm simply here to learn. So there's nothing that can go wrong with just joining something to learn.
You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose at all.
Just to gain. It's all good.
Right.
It's all good. How about you, Isaac?
Well, if you were to ask me a few weeks ago, I would say I was scared, but now that I've, looked over some of the resources that you showed us and stuff, I feel a little bit more confident in the team and in myself personally. So I feel like we'll be fine.
Excellent. Aram?
Well, I feel a little confident about everything, all the processes, and I know I can learn and I can also do stuff with it.
Okay.
I'm not scared of anything.
You've learned a lot.
And from my past experiences, when I experienced, I heard somebody said, I'm struggling with installing some packages from Python. I know how it feels, but it's not fun. But when you try 10 times, you feel it's easy. It's next time you know what you're gonna do. Like sometimes just a Python version or just the version of Linux that you're using is not supporting all kind of packages. So
that's the
wonder. It's just experience. Yeah.
The wonder and the joy of Linux is that not everything works together like it should. Yeah. So Sean, you confident?
I'm in a similar boat as Travis. At this moment, I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's all information that I get to add to my resume. So I'm pretty confident in that fact.
This is a good resume builder, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put on this competition, was to give schools that haven't had a chance to do this stuff before a chance. And I'm really happy with how it's turning out. And one of the tips that I want to leave you with is you're going to have some coaching resources from Dell. I'm also looking to round up some other help in case you need it. Go to those people and ask for help when you need it. Don't flail for 10 hours on some little thing that an expert can tell you, this is how you do it. Don't be a hero in that. And don't be afraid to reach out to anybody in the HPC community about anything, any questions that you have on the boards or anything like that. People out there are very willing to help, and they kind of like it. It makes them feel like a big expert. So be sure and do that. I want to thank you for taking the time for the interview, and we will be talking to you again at least one more, probably two more times. And I wish you all the luck in the world and happy clustering. Thanks again. Bye-bye.